Diffuse artificial thought. The advancement of techniques propel us toward the third step in the blue beam project that goes along with the telepathic and electronically augmented two-way communication where ELF, VLF and LF waves will reach each person from within his or her own mind, convincing each of them that their own God is speaking to them from the very depths of their own soul. Such rays from satellites are fed from the memories of computers that have stored massive data about every human on Earth, and their languages. The rays will then interlace with their natural thinking to form what we call diffuse artificial thought. So how could that be possible, you ask? Easy. Enter Project Joshua Blue, currently under development by our favorite business machines company, IBM. Joshua Blue is a program with the stated goal of evolving an emotional mind in a simulated environment to enhance artificial intelligence by evolving such capacities as common sense reasoning, natural language understanding, and emotional intelligence, acquired in the same manner as humans acquire them, through learning situated in a rich environment. This is software that is capable of learning and developing emotions according to a related document, feeling fabricated, artificial emotion. Parts of this project involve the development of Joshua so that emotion is part of its reasoning and these guidelines are being followed. Naturalness and believability, social effectiveness, and meaningfulness of displays to human observers. In fact, the main goal of Joshua Blue is to achieve cognitive flexibility that approaches human functioning. In other words, this is artificial intelligence that could be diffused with our own thought because it has been designed to think like a human. A computer program which can read silently spoken words by analyzing nerve signals in our mouths and throats has been developed by NASA. In my previous post, I outlined the technology that exists. In 1994, the brain wave patterns of 40 subjects were officially correlated with both spoken words and silent thought. This was achieved by a neurophysiologist, Dr. Donald York, and a speech pathologist, Dr. Thomas Jensen, from the University of Missouri. They clearly identified 27 words, syllables in specific brainwave patterns and produced a computer program with a brainwave vocabulary. It does not take much thinking to realize that the U.S. agencies have access to a perfected version of this technology. In fact, the relevant computers have a vocabulary in excess of 60,000 words and cover most languages. In fact, the NSA's Signals Intelligence monitor the brainwaves of their targets by satellite and decode the evoked potentials, 3.50 Hz 5 milliwatts that the brain emits. So, using lasers, satellites and high-powered computers, the agencies have now gained the ability to decipher human thoughts, and from a considerable distance instantaneously. With these seemingly far-fetched technologies in mind, Alpha evidently not so far-fetched, also consider this final one. Silent Subliminal Presentation System, a communication system in which non-oral carriers, in the very low or high audio frequency range or the ultrasonic frequency spectrum, are amplified or frequency modulated with the desired intelligence, and propagated acoustically or vibrationally for inducement directly into the brain. This can be done live or recorded stored on magnetic, mechanical or optical media for delayed repeated transmission to the target. Sound can also be induced by radiating the head with microwaves in the range 100 to 10,000 MHz that are modulated with a waveform consisting of frequency-modulated bursts. HAARP, of course, is going to be handling all the microwaves. Knowing all of this, Joshua Blue could in fact be being fed with your personal data, Facebook, MySpace, medical records, driving records, police records, shopping records, etc., and could be simultaneously extracting your actual, real-time thought processes. It could then calculate alternate thought trains, and depending on the mission, it could distract you, lead you to the wrong conclusions, or drive you insane. It could even manage to make you convince yourself that yes, aliens truly are invading or Jesus really is talking to you from the clouds. With all the data we put out into the internet about ourselves through MSN, I'm 100% certain they know how we talk and therefore how we think. This is way too feasible for me to be comfortable. If the thought that was generated artificially by the computer was so accurately precise, how could you reasonably differentiate from AI and your own thought? This scares me. Joshua Blue is specifically being designed to handle emotions, so thought patterns and logically chosen emotions to complement them are going to be very hard to overcome.